All right, so one of the questions often asked here at the Liberty Estate is why did we not do a basement? Or in general, why are people not doing a lot of basements in Arizona? Now keep in mind, in this area of town here in the East Valley, we actually do quite a few basements. A lot of our builds have basements that we're working on. And the reality is, as you think about basements in Arizona, a lot of it has to do with the soils report, right? And there's certain parts of town where the soil is either clay or rock, and it really inhibits opportunity to do a basement because it costs to dig down. We may have to bring out equipment to get through that hard dig, add jackhammer down. And so, for swimming pools is really the limit how deep you want to go in some of these areas because it's so hard to dig, as well as a basement would be really difficult. So soil type plays a big role. Here in the East Valley, we're dealing, with farmland, it's the farm soil. It's fairly easy to go, deep to do a basement. That's why it's pretty common we do basements in this part of town. The other element to basements in Arizona is we don't have a frost line. In other parts of the country, you have a frost line. They may do basements for natural disasters, right? In like Tornado Alley, which is a great bunker. But, as you're dealing with the frost line, you're digging down for that frost line already. So why not go a little bit further and actually optimize that for a basement? Because you have to get below that freeze-thaw cycle, depending on those cold seasons of the year. In Arizona, being that it does get pretty cold, it can get in the 20s at night for a couple weeks. I mean, typically in the 30s. It can get cold, the desert can be cold, but again, we're not dealing with 4 or 5 months of snow or ice and that freeze-thaw cycle. So for that reason, it's not as common to be digging down for utilities as deep here in Arizona. Furthermore, soil type plays a big role, and so I was asked here where we could actually do a basement, why did we not do one? And a lot of it goes into just the lifestyle of the house, right? Basements add a lot of value in the sense that it's a place that kids can go down. If you have a family, they can make a lot of noise, right? It's a big open space typically, so you can entertain. And so a lot of it just has to do with how you live day to day. In the way that we live and we entertain and we're gonna have people at the house, basement is not a huge option for us. The reason being is we looked a lot about curb appeal. As you're designing a house, you can design a beautiful home that's ranch style, single story. But there's something to be said when you have a 2-story home, the creative elements that can be built into that design. And so for the architectural style that we were looking for, the 2-story definitely fit to capture that timeless essence that we're looking for, this European style construction. And so because of that, for us, a 2-story was the fit. And then also budget. I mean, I mentioned that budget in a previous video as we were doing the concrete is a big role. So it's a big factor in this as you're looking at cost. It's a lot more cost effective for us to do a 2-story home because one, we get the curb appeal and we can match the design style we wanted, but second, we don't have to deal with a massive cost. And so because of that, we opted to not go with the basement to save on money, put those dollars elsewhere. And it's just like every client, right? As we're counseling through what is important to the client and where they want to put those dollars, they may want to put in other areas of the home. And so for that purpose, we did end up working with a 2-story without a basement, mostly for cost, also for curb appeal and design. And really the way that we live and, the age of our children now that, stairs are not as much of a concern, even though basements do have stairs, but typically a lot of people have basements as entertaining areas as opposed to living, whereas we have a lot of living upstairs. So there'll be stairs there, but that is exactly why we did not go with the basement here on this build.